stupid. I'd be pissed off if this song blew up on TikTok.
I just got behind the trick this shit. Then I whip it quick. That's all my wristy. I'll be trying to.
What's up, guys? Hope you're having a good pandemic. So basically, I just threw together 30 things that I think are useful to know when you're starting out playing Rust. I'm sure there's still going to be at least one or two things here that even veterans won't know. So if there is anything on this list that you weren't aware of that I enlightened yet too, make sure to drop a like, maybe subscribe for future Rust content. And anyways, here's the video. Spamming mushrooms heals more than bandages as long as you're not bleeding. Crouching reduces some guns' recoil. You can bind auto-running with this command. Obviously replace this for whatever key you would like to bind it to. I have it bound to one of my mouse buttons, so you simply just press it and it makes you sprint forward. You just use your mouse to look around, and if you want to stop, you just press W, and that's that. I don't really have a visual to show this, but the attack helicopter will only attack you if it's in your vicinity, just somewhere close-ish to you, and you're wearing more than 2 pieces of clothing or armor. Not a mix of both, just either or whatever, as long as it's not more than 2. And if you have a weapon on your hotbar. So just make sure you have the weapons and no more than 2 pieces of clothing on and you're fine. And also, a hazmat only counts as 1, so you're fine in a hazmat. A good method of eco-rating is with swords. I believe it takes 11 swords for a wooden door. And for a wall, I'm not sure the exact amount, but it is possible. Another method of eco-rating is with Ioka shells. The best way to place external TCs is to remove authorization on your main base TC. Make sure you remove any ammo from traps nearby in the base, and then go outside and see how close you can get before you can place one. If you need to sneak around in some water, a good way to do that is by jumping. There's a method to crouching that's faster than just crouching the whole way. It's by just letting go of the crouch button while sprinting. And if you do it with the right timing, it makes no noise as you do it. It's just a little bit quicker. Putting attachments on weapons makes a really loud noise that everyone can hear unless that weapon is in a box. Drinking water reduces radiation, which is mainly useful for launch site when you're running up the main building. This one's pretty useless, but if you don't have access to a workbench, you can also repair jackhammers in repair benches for a high quality metal frags. The best way to use a jackhammer is not to just hold it on a node, it's actually to tap it. If you hold shift and middle click, it'll actually split stacks into thirds, which is really useful for furnaces. And then for that 2/3 stack, you can just middle mouse click it to split it in half. The best way to use a salvaged pick on both sulfur and metal nodes is to not hit the minigame at first, and then hit the minigame. This actually saves 1 hit on the nodes, making it significantly faster. And this is the difference if you just hit the minigame. If you turn max shadow lights down to 0, it actually lets you see light through walls, which is especially useful at nighttime. You can just have a campfire in the base, and you can pretty much see the entirety of the inside of your base at night due to having max shadow lights at 0. It takes about 7 full picks to break through the soft side of a stone wall. You can also use spears, and each spear does about 26 damage. Once you have a base built, it's a good idea to have external bags in case you ever get killed and you want to spawn outside and not in your base. It's also a good idea to have them near monuments near to your base, and out and about just when you're PvPing. That way, if you die, your friend can just guard your stuff if he manages to live, and he can cover you while you go and loot your body. Large furnaces are a lot more efficient on wood. However, they produce a lot less charcoal, which you need for raiding later on, so it's a good idea to, even after getting a large furnace, continually use your small furnaces to keep stocking up on charcoal. Having drop boxes near the entrance of your base is very useful for just quickly getting in, dropping off some loot you may have just gotten, and then heading straight back out. You can hold H by default to just loot everything that's in a box or on a person. You just hold H and hover everything. If you've just finished a loot run or a monument run and you get a kill, it's best practice to follow one of the oldest Rust rules, being don't get greedy. Check his body after you've made sure that there's no one else, loot the best stuff, drop your worst stuff, and get out as fast as possible. It's not a great idea with a full inventory to sit there and micromanage the inventory and make sure you have everything you could possibly need and then get out. Another fairly fundamental rule of Rust is to always expect there to be more than just one enemy. If you're getting in a fight with somebody and you get the kill, expect there to be somebody else. Don't just run up straight for the body and start looting, staring at the ground. Make sure you look around first. Campfires always give you 50% comfort. If you ever get 75 and you're near one and you have no teammates nearby, it means somebody's on the other side of your wall camping your base. Bear rugs are very useful to put on the ceilings of your bases. And if you stand under the bear head, you'll get 100% comfort. When you're at 100% comfort, you actually heal to full HP as long as you're not starving, dehydrated, too cold, or too hot. Another item that also does the same thing are chairs. If you've ever burned bear meat before, this trick will help you. Just split the stack into 3 all across, and you can just cook the food, and when it's done, it'll actually just pop out of the campfire and turn it off, effectively making you never burn meat again. The bandana face mask is an item you normally cannot craft. For whatever reason, you have to actually buy a skin first before you're even able to craft the default version. So it's a decent idea to hop onto the Steam Marketplace, buy a 30-cent skin to be able to craft this item, as early game, it actually offers pretty good protection. I realize 5 isn't the best, but early game, that definitely does matter. And if you pair it with a wolf headdress, it actually offers the same protection as a coffee can helmet. If you've just finished a raid and you've gotten control of the base, it's definitely good practice, after you've secured everything and you know that you're safe, to drop all your stuff, drop a bag in the base, F1 kill, and spawn in a bag outside, or at your base, to check to see if you're being camped by anyone. And this last tip is more of a shout out to 16-year-old me when I was gullible and new to the game, and I was having trouble finding guns in the grass after I killed people. Somebody told me that if I were to type quit.grassland, that I'd be able to make the grass disappear and I could find the guns a lot easier. This is actually obviously not true. What just happens is because of the word quit, it just closes the game. So definitely don't listen to anyone telling you to type quit anything in the console. Well, that's 30 things that I think are useful to know for newer players in Rust. If you learned anything, make sure to drop a like. If you think I missed anything important, you can let me know in the comments below. Other than that, check out all my stuff below, and have a good one.
Down on myself, hope you're doing well.